Hello folks, welcome back. Another later night floating job going on tonight. It's about 7:30, 7:45 right now, so not too bad. Don't have all that far to go, so should be home by 9:30 or so, I would think. But we're doing something different tonight. We're taking the 350 single rear wheel. We are not taking the 450 or the Ram. It's sitting right down there. We're taking this guy for a reason. So I'm going to pick up the skid steer with the mulcher attachment on it, and that combination weighs around 13,500 pounds roughly. This trailer is rated for 21K, but I have it registered for 15. I have the truck registered for 11. Trailer's just under 15, so that keeps me below the 26,000 pounds that then you don't need to have your commercial driver's license, or here in Nova Scotia it'd be your class 3 condition 15 as a minimum, or your class 1. All you need is condition 15 to haul this trailer with this truck. So the machine is right around 13,500 pounds roughly. This trailer, I don't know how much it weighs, to be honest, because the payload sticker is not on it. Guessing it weighs around 4,000 pounds. The truck is right at like 7,700 curb weight. So then you add the operator or driver, you add the fuel, there's some tools on back, you know, roughly 800 pounds or so, probably between all that to 1,000. So we're basically right at the 26,000 pound mark with this truck and this trailer loaded with the skid steer on it. So what that means is, if it feels good, which is why I'm going to find this out, if it feels good, then I can use this truck and put a guy in this truck with the skid steer and the mulcher who has their condition 15, and he can go around, he can use this truck to haul all over the place doing work with the skid steer, versus me having to use this truck or my 550, which basically each one of my dualies has a machine like attached to it. They're a package. So this truck, the package will be the new 80, the new Sani 80. This truck will mainly be matched up to the 95, and my 550 is matched up to the 080, and we each have their own trailers. This will be my Diamond C with this truck, the galvanized K-Trail with that truck, my Sure Track with the other truck with my 550. So if this works, if this feels good, then that's going to be the setup. If it doesn't, then I'm probably going to have to look at getting rid of the Chev and picking up another dually. So, but then as soon as I do the dually with the registered weight and the combined weight, I'd be over 26,000 pounds. So anyway, it's just a whole juggling game at this point. When you start getting into these type of weights, it's just a complete juggling game. So let's go find out. We'll go load up and we'll see how this thing feels and if it's gonna be a setup going forward. All right, so there's the beast sitting there ready to go. It definitely needs a good pressure wash. She's getting pretty dirty. But yeah, here's where we've been at for the last couple days. It's amazing what a couple days can do, that's for sure. Pretty crazy. All right, let's get this big old log out there fired on that trailer. All right, well, let's see what this thing looks like when it gets on here. I did go up like one more notch on my hitch because I wanted to have a little bit of a rake, negative rake, Cali lean or something they call it. Just because when this thing comes on here, it's definitely going to come down a bit. So let's see how much sort of squat we get out of this thing. All right, that's where I'm gonna put it to try it out for this trip. It might end up going differently, but I mean, this might be the only trip I ever do this with this machine. Now, the last thing I'll want is to have too much tail weight, so too much rear end weight, because then the trailer is just going to be doing this the whole time. But I also need to keep in mind with this truck is tongue weight. If I was using my 450 or any of the dualies, tongue weight's not a problem. More tongue weight the better. With this truck, I have to keep that in mind. So I think that with the mulcher in the front, just over the front axle, and the counterweight in the back, just over the rear axle, this should be good. This should feel pretty good, but I'm not gonna know until I get it chained down and we'll hit the road. Chained down and ready to go. I just checked, I'm checking my springs, you know, and looking, and I'm seeing that it's not even on the overload, so that actually has me a little bit worried, to be honest. And say, man, why would that have you worried? You know, you don't have too much weight on that. It has me a little bit worried because maybe there is too much weight to the back of the trailer and not enough to the front. So I'm gonna get on the highway, because I'm not gonna know until I get on the highway. If it feels wishy-washy at all, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna readjust the thing forward a little bit. Just because that's the last thing you want, is to be going down the highway wagging your tail. You do not want to be doing that. We're gonna find out here in a minute. And for whatever reason, this truck right here has by far the strongest engine brake on any of my Fords that I own and have ever owned. The engine brake on this thing is actually really strong, which is good. Turn my trailer brakes up. We'll go up to 8 just because I don't know how this is gonna feel. Engine brake is on. We're ready to go. So I'll get off this dirt road. We'll get on the main road and we'll see. And the other thing that I do have on this truck right now is I have my 21K rated Gen Y torsion hitch. So that should make the ride a little bit better as well. You know, not as so much bobbing coming through the truck. And it's a very heavy duty hitch, so that is a bonus. That will help for sure. Well, so far, so good. We're on some windy, twisty roads here, and it feels very solid so far. Power's not an issue. I know power's not gonna be an issue. It's not gonna be like my 450, that's for sure. But you know, just handling wise. But we're going around some twisty turns here, and she feels pretty good back there. Now, what will it feel like when we get up to 105 kilometers an hour? That's the question. But I think even if it does sway a little bit, I think we could come forward on the truck a little bit, and it would still feel pretty good. And I honestly won't know for sure exactly how much this setup weighs, or you know, exactly how much weight is actually on my trailer and my truck, to see if they're both legal. Because if I put too much weight on the trailer, then I could be over my 15,000 pounds basically that I have the trailer registered for. And if I put too much weight on the truck, then I could be over my total of 11,000 pounds that I have the truck registered for. Because I'm trying to walk that fine line for my guys that don't have their commercial license. So I won't know for sure if I'm exactly legal, but the biggest thing for me was I'm not sending somebody out on the road with this setup if it's not safe, if it doesn't feel good, if it feels like crap, you're gonna be white knuckled the whole time. I'm not gonna do that to my guys. So that's why I want to be the first one to try this out. So right now it's feeling really good. Definitely the test is going to be on the highway. The trailer has really good brakes, so brakes aren't an issue. And like I said, the engine brake on this truck actually works really good on this truck. By far better than my 550. was better than my 250, better than my 2020 350, and much better than my 450, believe it or not, but it is. Well, at like 80, 85 to 90, still feels good. Twisty roads, bumpy roads, everything's feeling great. And I know some people are probably watching this video and saying, how is he legal if he has his trailer registered for 15,000 pounds? The trailer is probably around 4,000 pounds, and his machine is 13,500. That's 2,500 pounds over what it's registered for. But you got to factor in tongue weight. How much weight from the trailer is on the truck? So let's say there's 2,500 pounds of tongue weight on the truck. I still have loads of room on my truck. Loads. Let's say there's 2,500 pounds of tongue weight on the truck. I still have room on my truck. The GVWR, like I said, is 11,500. I've got like 3,800 pounds of payload, but subtract 500 from that because I don't have it maxed out. I have it registered at 11. So I'm at you know, what do I got? So I'm down to 3,300 pounds of payload. So I'm still in that good zone. Typically you're around 15% tongue weight. It's kind of where you want to be. So 10% tongue weight would be 1,700. You guys do the math. What's 15% of 17,500 pounds? Okay, well, I did the math. 2,625 pounds is 15% tongue weight. So if that's where I'm at, if I'm at 15% tongue weight, then I am in the absolute perfect sweet spot for what I'm trying to do here, for the juggling that I'm trying to do. So hopefully I'm rarely close to 15% tongue weight, because that's exactly where I want to be. I could handle a bit more. I could handle a bit more tongue weight. Remember, I've got like 3,300 pounds that I could be and still be legal. So I can still go up quite a ways yet, but that would be perfect. Okay, let's get up to speed here. I do have 35s on this truck too, by the way, and they're a mud tire. Alright, so the cruise is set at 102, but I've got 35s, and my speedometer's not adjusted, so I'm at about 105 kilometers an hour, and right now this thing feels absolutely solid as a rock. Heck yeah, this feels good, feels really good. 6th gear, just sitting back enjoying things. That's a nice truck. Now, I have no airbags in this truck. No goodies at all, other than the Banks, no I don't, not Banks, S&B intake. I don't have the pedal monster in this. I have nothing else. This truck is completely stock on 35-inch mud tires, no airbags, and this thing feels as solid as a rock. 200,000 kilometers on this truck right now. This is the best truck that I've ever owned. The 550's been a great truck too, but man, this thing has taken so much abuse, plowing and beating through cell tower roads and using my dump trailer in spots where I shouldn't be doing any of that stuff, and this thing just keeps going. Caused me next to no issues whatsoever. Still has the same front end parts. I have not touched a front end part on this thing. I've replaced the brake pads. That is it. No calipers, no rotors, nothing. Nothing. I've replaced nothing on this truck. Just see how it holds its speed back going down this hill. And then we gotta go up Michelin Hill. So we'll see what this thing does. Definitely dropped to 5th, but it might have to drop to 4th going up Michelin. But see, right now it's not picking up any speed at all. Now we're into the steepest part of the hill. Picked up a couple kilometers an hour maybe. There, it just dropped to 5th. Hopefully it doesn't go back up to 6 before we hit the hill here, but it probably will. Nope. It held 5th, so it gave itself a little bit of a fighting chance here in 5th gear, but I don't think it's going to be able to make it. Oh yes, I think it will. Yeah, geez, she's pulling in 5th. Right at about 100 kilometers an hour, so pretty much just held its speed the whole way. Huh, all right. Good job, 350. Well, all right, we're back. And the old girl did very good. I say old girl, this isn't my oldest truck actually. Well, I guess my oldest truck is probably the Ram, but my oldest truck that I bought basically from new is my 550. That's a 2017, but this is my highest mileage truck. This has 200,000 kilometers on it, and it did fantastic. It did really good. I haven't shown these tires yet, but I'll try to show them at another time. But they're called Zeta. Zeta is the name, I guess. And they're a four-track MT, and I'll tell you what, I like them. They're good tires so far. But I think I might end up lowering the hitch back down 1 notch because I am still tipped up a little bit. But man, it felt so good. But you don't want to be tipped up because then you're putting too much pressure on the back of your axles, and you don't want to be coming down because then you're putting a lot of pressure on your front axle. But it felt really good. That felt so good. I called the guy and said, you're good to go for tomorrow morning. Truck's fueled up. Everything feels great. It's all yours. So he's ready to roll. He's ready to roll. I'll still have to go through a set of scales here at some point in time and get it weighed to see for sure if we're legal or not, but I think we're good. I think we're good. But now, back in the 450. Go up to the house. I said 9:30, it's 9:42. Go up to the house. Bauer's probably sleeping. Ashley may have fallen asleep with him, who knows. And do a little bit of stuff on the computer and the phone, getting the week planned out and all that stuff. Call her a night. So that's it, folks. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we will see you then. Bye.